What's going on, everybody? It's Tyler here, and I'm joined by a great guest. She's making her Whiskey Jam debut tonight, as of the moment we're talking right now. But I've got Jordana Bryant on here with me. Jordana, it's a pleasure to have you on here. How you doing? Of
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
course. Now, how excited are you for Whiskey Jam tonight? Because I know that's a big thing.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I've been hoping to play it for a while, and so I'm really looking forward to getting to play there tonight.
It's a big night. Well, you're going to be able to play songs off your brand new EP that just came out.
Yes, yes, all of the songs I'm gonna play are gonna be on the EP actually.
Awesome. Well, I'm just going to get right to it. Do you have a favorite song on it?
That's a good question. I'm not sure if I could pick a favorite, but if I had to, I would probably say Holy, the first song on the EP, just because I feel like it shares a little bit more about me. It's about my faith and that's a really important thing to me and it's a really big part of who I am, and so I'm excited to share that in my music. So I do really love that song. I also really love Penniless and Broke, which is one of the songs on there. It came out a few weeks before the EP did, and it's just a super fun song, and it makes me happy listening to it. And I love how upbeat and even though it's a breakup song, it feels very positive and anthemic. So I do love that one as well.
Well, now that you've got all six songs on the project out for everybody to stream, what was the thought process going into this whole project? You got six songs on it. It's almost toward, debut album time sometime. But yeah,
Yes. Yeah, so as I was figuring out which songs I wanted to be on this project, I really wanted them to feel like they said a little bit about who I am and showed a little bit of who I am. And one of the things that's, a big part of me is being positive and optimistic. And so I wanted even like the breakup songs to feel, positive and anthemic. And I feel like, all the songs on here feel cohesive and feel like they each have a little bit of positivity to them. And I wanted to put out a project because I feel like it just, you get the opportunity to create something that's more complete and more yeah, that more just says something about you and shows who you are as both a person and an artist. And so I'm excited to be releasing it, and hopefully in the next year or something I'll put out a debut album, and maybe a few of these songs will be on there as well.
that'll be awesome. And you mentioned letting everybody see who you are in your project. Well, I feel like we've been seeing you for a long time, even before you had music out. I remember seeing your videos for years before this on Instagram, wherever else. And just for you as the artist, what's that journey been like for you putting all these videos out? Going through this whole thing, you're putting out covers and originals, and now you're at the point where you've got an EP out. What's that been like for you?
It's been so much fun. I remember starting to post really during the pandemic. I started posting on Instagram. I had been posting a few covers on YouTube before that, but I was just looking for a community myself, and I was, during the pandemic, I think we were all feeling isolated, and I wanted to create a space where, people could feel, seen, and like they could talk about how they were feeling and could have a community around them to support them. And so I just started going live and, being live for an hour or two every night and playing people songs, but also just adding people on and talking to them and talking about how we were feeling. And it was really fulfilling for me, and I had so much fun getting to play songs and play my music for people. And even just playing covers, I had a blast. And then, getting to share my own songs was really cool. And I think it was something at first I was a little nervous. I wasn't sure, how people would react to them, but everyone was really supportive. And, the people who watched those lives from the start and who followed me on Instagram back in 2020 when I was still a freshman in high school and had braces, and those are the people that made this possible, and that made it possible for me to start releasing my music and eventually now get to put out my first EP.
Well, you wouldn't have started posting any of these videos if you didn't have any artists that you looked up to. I feel like so. Who were some of those
Yes.
artists that influenced you?
Yeah. There are so many, but I would say a few of the ones that have inspired me the most were, Carrie Underwood, Taylor Swift. Um, I would say Dolly Parton and Reba McEntire were two of my role models growing up. I just loved their music, and I loved how they really paved the way for women in country music. And my parents are huge Garth Brooks fans, and we would always listen to him. And I loved Flats, and I just loved how for all of those artists, even though their styles were very different, what I think tied them together. And to me, what country music is just the storytelling and how, they wrote songs that you could close your eyes and picture, and that you could really relate to, even though certain lyrics could be so specific and bring such a specific visual to mind. At their core, each of those songs were something that you felt like you could relate to and that made you feel, seen and heard.
Well, I don't think you could have put it any better. Country music and storytelling. That's what makes it the best genre
Yes,
of all. Well,
totally.
like most of those artists that you mentioned, they're going on tour this summer. So what does your summer look like in terms of playing shows?
Yeah, so right now I'm in the middle of figuring out and scheduling some shows this summer. One of the things that was really important to me is doing some free shows this summer. A lot of people on Instagram, a lot of my fans had been mentioning that they want to, see me perform, but that, they're not sure they can afford tickets and all of that stuff. So I've been trying to work with my team to plan some, shows at coffee shops or malls or parks where we can go and it's just me and a guitar, and I can play some songs and we can hang out and meet up and take photos, and just basically get to meet the people who have been listening and supporting for so long. And I feel like it's really so special when you get to meet people in person and you get to you know talk to them. It's totally different than just reading a comment on Instagram. Getting to meet them in person is such a cool thing. So I'm really looking forward to doing some shows this summer and getting to meet those people.
Well, I love that response. And well, for those of you watching this out there, if you don't already follow Jordana on Instagram and TikTok, subscribe to YouTube, well, you better get to it. Go follow her everywhere. Go stream the EP if you haven't listened to it yet. And Jordana, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me. It's been a blast talking with you.
Absolutely. We will see you guys next time.